All right, guys, so today to kick off my 2024 bag collection videos, we're gonna start out with Louis Vuitton. Now, I've been collecting LV for quite a long time. We're coming up on almost 20 years now, which is crazy to say. Even though I've been kind of sleeping on the brand these past few years, LV will always have a special place in my heart. And with that in mind, I've collected some really rare, very special pieces over the years. But before we dive into all that, hey guys, my name's Caleb. I post luxury and lifestyle related content every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if that's something you're into, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Consider joining our membership. We have an awesome engaged community, members meetups, extra perks, access, a very involved Discord. Check it all out. And I'm not gonna do this in any particular order. We're gonna do a bag, we're gonna do an SLG, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're gonna start out with one of my most special bags, and I think I purchased this for one of my birthdays. I don't necessarily remember which, but I unboxed this on my channel. This is my Louis Vuitton multicolor Marilyn in the Noir colorway. I love multicolor, and this would honestly look really fire with this outfit. Besides the point. This bag, you guys, it is phenomenal. This was seen on Paris Hilton, almost every it girl of that era. I'm really aging myself here, but I love this bag, and multicolor will probably always be one of my favorite Louis Vuitton collections. The Takashi Murakami special edition from 2003. I kind of want to collect this in the white colorway as well, but the Veta, I don't carry this one too much because as you can tell, it is absolutely covered in Veta, big brass hardware, that koala lock on the front. But I reserve this for special occasions. When I carry this out, you know it's a big deal. So next up, in this piece, I got the last one in North America. In all places, I found this in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is the Tigerama coin and card case, I think. This is in the fuchsia colorway. And I saw this sitting in the case. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's a vibe. This was actually the very first thing that I unboxed on this channel nearly 3 years ago. Crazy to think, but I love using this with like my brighter, more fun bags. Like this is a good pop of color. And even though it's a bright color because the monogram is almost monochromatic, it's a little bit quiet. This is the guy holding a big hot pink wallet up in the air, but it's kind of quiet, like right, it works. It has the palladium hardware, which is, I have a love-hate relationship when LV does this. A lot of their SLG collections seem to have silver hardware, but a lot of the bags have brass. I don't like mixing my hardwares too much, but I mean, for a color like this though, I'll make an exception. Now, next up, we have my Louis Vuitton Palace Beauty bag. I actually use this as a giant oversized clutch. It is literally perfect for that. Yes, this front can hold the Pro Max phones from Apple, duh, hello. Brass hardware, absolutely love this piece, and it's just trimmed in a little bit of calfskin, so it's like literally perfect for all types of weather. I think I was in Munich when I bought this, and this has been a really good purchase for me. I've definitely gotten my cost per wear out of this, and it's been discontinued, so good luck finding one. Speaking of beauty bags, this piece I use all the time, every day. This is one of my ride or die pieces. You can actually hear my Hermes chapstick rolling around in there. This is the Posh Toilette 15, which from my understanding has been discontinued because people were making this into a handbag, which dumb on LV's part, let people do what they want with what they buy. But I love this one so much. I kind of regret that I didn't go up a size because as you can tell, this thing's pretty full. I keep all of my daily essentials in here, and this goes into almost every single bag that I own. Like one bag to the next whenever I switch bags. I love this piece. So let's switch gears a little bit. We've looked at some of my newer pieces, but let's talk about some vintage LV because there are some finds out there, some really good pieces out on the pre-owned market. This is my Danube. I think this is the PM size. No, that's a lie. Don't quote me. I don't know what size this is, but this is the Danube crossbody. I carry this a lot, especially in the summertime. And because the Veta is so nicely aged and darkened, I can literally carry this in the rain and it doesn't do anything, which I have been caught in a few rainstorms with this bag. So I don't know. I love this. And I got so lucky, you guys, because a lot of the times these pockets are in that stupid Vietnamite lining that gets sticky, you know, and corrodes. My pockets are actually lined in that Armagnac, kind of that Saffiano leather that Louis Vuitton always puts inside their pieces. So I don't know if like whoever bought this at some point had it changed out or if that was like a year or two that you could do that. But this piece, you guys, I've gotten my cost per wear. I think I paid about $440 for this one. Price-wise, I think you can find them for about that, maybe up to just about $1,000 these days. I don't often reach for this one, but when I do, I remember why I bought it in the first place because it is so easy to use. So now when I'm using smaller bags like my Danube, there's not a lot of room in there, and I want to actually be able to like fit my phone, be a little bit hands-free. So when I do that, I reach for this card case. Now this is from the Taiga collection. This is the Apicia Green, and you have a couple of windows in there, so you can easily have your ID on one side, any debit or credit cards that you need to have, fold it up, throw it in the bag, you're good to go. These pieces are actually fairly inexpensive. A lot of people don't like to collect the older Taiga pieces, so typically like smaller bags, SLGs, even like work bags for like laptops, if it's in this Taiga collection, you're gonna get a good deal. So browse eBay, take a look at Fashion File, the deals are out there. Speaking of taiga, this is one of my favorite bags in my collection. Do I use it enough? Sadly, no. I really don't reach for it too often. But this is the Reporter PM in the taiga. This is in the Apicia green. Now, I actually have a full luggage set that matches this bag, which will be in my luggage collection. I'm not redoing it this year, but I will link it in my collection videos just because it hasn't changed. We haven't traveled much. I haven't bought more LV luggage, so it's pretty much the same. Go and check it out. I'm actually going to have an entire 2024 playlist for all of my bag collections this year as we go through the month. Keep your eye out, more will drop. But like I was saying, this is the Taiga Reporter PM. I absolutely love this bag. This front is perfect for a cell phone, or if you want to throw like your tickets, brochure, map. I primarily take this when we travel, so anytime we're in Europe, you're gonna see this on me. I've taken it to Italy, Germany, Spain, I think. It has been everywhere with me, and I love that it has two different compartments. So you can have like, you know, big sums of like big euros in the back with your passport, other documents, and you can lock it up, keep the key in the front. You're good to go. It's a pretty safe bag. I actually found this in phenomenal condition over on Rebag, I think, several years ago. I would have bought this in like 2018, but I love this bag. Speaking of travel, and this is gonna sound a little lame, but every time I would buy a new Speedy, way back in the day when they were like sub $1,000, I would always get a new luggage tag to go on them. This one just has my initials on it. Now, I've had this luggage tag probably 15 years and it's super light because I don't put it on my luggage. All my LV luggage comes with luggage tags that match. So this I just kind of keep as a memento. If I wanted to tack it onto something that had, you know, Veta, I would. I don't know, these are cute. I think I've heard rumors now that you actually have to have like a keep all or like a travel bag to buy these. Back in the day, these were like 75 bucks. You could just walk in and ask for it. So bring back that era of LV, please. But I don't know, it's kind of cute. So speaking of accessories to hang on a bag, this I am so glad I got my hands on. This is from the Fornasetti collaboration. This is the coin in Cameo, Bando. I have a background in interior design. I love classical interiors. I actually collect a lot of plaster intaglio and glass intaglio reliefs. So when this dropped, I was like, I have to have it. Like, this is so classical, like perfection. And then you've got the monogram behind it, like, hello. I used to hang this a lot on my black Fendi Peekaboo, which we're gonna be talking about Fendi here in a couple of weeks. I almost wish that I had gotten like the Pochette Matisse or one of the Speedies with this on it, because like this collab was like perfection. I absolutely loved it. So this piece I actually don't use anymore. This has been retired, if you will. It just kind of sits in my drawer. This is the LV Modram 6 key holder, and I bought this so long ago. Like, I was still in college, and I used this poor thing to death. Now, sadly, if you haven't caught my bags I've lost, we had 2 apartment fires. This one was in the second. I didn't grab my keys on the way out, and this just kind of ended up on the floor in the fire. So it's still like intact, but it's kind of gross. I don't use it, but it's nice to have. It's a good memory, I guess. Now, speaking of vintage LV goodness, this is my Veta Marley in the GM size. I had wanted one of these for years. And because there's a few things that I look at when I buy vintage LV. First of all, this little pedal tab here on the end. Yes, this is shaped to be like one of the pedals in the floors. These are always curled up, and that's part of the reason why I wasn't super excited about some of the new LV denim release, because things like this always end up curling. But for me, it was super important to find one that wasn't curled. I also had to find good vachetta, good hardware. This piece is almost perfection. It does have the sticky pockets, both on this zipper pocket and the zipper pocket on the inside. So I think I quoted it through LV, and it was going to be like $250 to replace both pockets, which might be worth it, because when summer comes around, I do use this quite a bit. This is just like a good running to lunch, doing errands. You can put the little wrist strap on and just go hands-free if you want. If you can get your hands on a good condition one, I highly recommend it. These don't sell for much. I think I maybe paid like $300 for mine, $400 tops. So definitely worth it to spend an extra $200 and have perfect pockets. Sticking to the vintage LV vein, I used to be obsessed with Epi leather. I had several Speedies in Epi, the Keep All in Epi I still have, the Sac Plat, Sorbonne, a couple of SLGs. This is, aside from my Keep All 45, my last piece of Epi leather. This is in the color Kenyan Fawn, and this would be very late 80s. This is actually like a little notepad. You would just slide your paper in here, a little spot here for more paper and receipts. More often than not, I'll use this in like my smaller clutches with just like my cards sitting in here in the front. It works decent as a card holder. I do have some older LV catalogs. I've never exactly been able to find what this was called. So if anyone has any information, please let me know. But I think it's super cute, and I probably didn't pay that much for it. When I bought it, LV Epi wasn't that popular yet again, and I don't know. It's fun. So we're getting down to some of my favorite, more special LV pieces, which is just super exciting. This next piece, this is the LV Etoile Clutch, Etoile meaning star. Back then, I think this was only made for 1 year in 2009. Etoile meaning star. This is done in like a quilted pattern. I love this bag, you guys. Have I carried it much? No, I think I carried this to my wedding, actually. This was my wedding bag. Love that for me. This I actually purchased for myself to celebrate a milestone. I had just been promoted. We were moving to Chicagoland. My wedding, promotion, a lot of special memories tied to this bag. Doesn't hold a whole lot. As you can tell, it's pretty thin, kind of hard to get in and out of. You just have the little turn lock here on the front. Not a lot of open space to get in and out, but it's enough for like a card holder. Throw it under your shoulder, you're good to go. I love this piece. They're kind of hard to find, and when you do, they're a little expensive. I want to say these are typically about $1,000 to maybe $1,200, so a lot of money for what it is, but the Etoile collection is mint. Now, speaking of my favorite things, I always talk about the LV Brazza wallet. Here, hello. I absolutely adore this piece. Ton of rooms for cards, cash, coins, you name it. This is probably my most used wallet, and it still looks pretty phenomenal. I bought this for myself on my husband's birthday shopping trip. Love that for me. Happy birthday. But this is just, I've gotten a lot of use out of this, and when I bought it, I want to say it was like $670, which for a long wallet, not awful these days. I don't know, I really like this one, and it goes with literally everything. It's just classic monogram, you can't go wrong. All right, so I have been holding out on you guys a little bit. This next bag was something I had wanted since 2003. You already know it's Takashi Murakami, and those of you who are familiar with my collection, this bag gets a lot of attention whenever I bring it out. But this is my LV Murakami Speedy 30, and it took me forever to find the right one. Like, I am very particular when it comes to my multicolor monogram, like how the colors are laid out. And I kind of wanted it to coincide with my Maryland with a lot of the greens and pinks on the front. This again is pretty green and pink heavy, and my Vachetta, you guys, flawless. My corners, flawless. I haven't carried this one in a good minute just because, again, it scares me, and it's a little heavy too. So if you haven't ever held one of these before, just know like my arm is about to fall off holding it up because there's so much hardware, so much chunky leather. LV nailed it. Again, this is on the arm of every single it girl in the early 2000s. Even Britney Spears had a fake one. Except what I said, save space. I just love this bag, and I see a lot more multicolor in my future, so watch out. All right, let me show you a couple more of my big wallets, and then I'm going to show you my all-time favorite LV bag. But first up, we have another taiga piece. This one I think is the Port Velour. It's very simple. I just have my initials done in there with a blind stamp. Doesn't hold as many cards as my LV Brazza. I think I can only get like 6 or 7 in here, but I carry this one a lot when I'm traveling. First of all, taiga, it's under the radar. Aside from that blind stamped LV in the front corner, it's not very splashy. This is a good color. Goes with my taiga bags and all my luggage. I don't know, I genuinely really like taiga pieces. I think they're very underrated, especially the vintage ones. So next up, I'm going to show you the wallet that I'm currently using, the town where I am. This is one of my favorite wallets. This is the Suhali Zippy Wallet. It's done in a beautiful goat skin. The shove leather came from the West Indies. Very, very exclusive, very chic. But I don't know, I love using this piece, especially with my Suhali bag, which we're going to see here in a second. And this leather, you guys, if you have not touched Suhali, do yourself a favor, pick some up. This is like some of the finest leather outside of Hermes, in my opinion. And I love this piece. This was such a good buy. I've gotten my money's worth tenfold. All right, we have made it to the final bag for now. There's always more on the horizon. But this bag, again, I wanted for such a long time. It's a very classic style. This was peak Pinnacle LV, and it was very expensive when it first came out. But this is my Suhali L'Ingenue GM. I have it in the color Noir. I need the blue, the white, and the plum as well. For now, I only have the Noir. This bag, you guys, I'm actually carrying it right now. It is gorgeous. Like, words cannot describe how beautiful this bag is. Trimmed in calfskin, chev leather from the West Indies again. Big, beautiful brass hardware that harkens back to LV's eponymous trunks. That's what they're known for. That's what they're famous for. Now, this bag, you guys, was so expensive when it first came out, considering what handbag prices were back then, but I think these were about $2,000-$3,000 back in the day when this was released. I want to say this collection came out in like 2003. It was quickly discontinued after 2008 because of the housing crisis. No one really wanted to carry big, flashy, in-your-face, very expensive handbags anymore, so sadly we only got a few years with this collection. This bag, you guys, I am lost for words at how beautiful it is. The bottom is covered in big, chunky LV feet. It is a good bag. I'm gonna put it down though because it's ripping my arm off. Now that concludes the first part of my 2024 designer bag collection. Today we saw a lot of Louis Vuitton, so let me know in the comments what was your favorite piece from my collection, what's your favorite piece from your own collection, and until next time guys, stay safe, have fun, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.